And I ended up delusionally paying for our meal because he was arguing with me in this restaurant. And I will never forget the waitress said to me, she's like, sis, in front of him, you should never go out with this man again. Ever. She said, I hope right now you block this man's number right as you're sitting at this table because this guy is a clown.
Because after we hung out, had a good time, he was very limited in his texting again. And I was like, are you going to continue to be delusional about what this really is? He may have loved you once. He may have wanted to be with you at one point in time, but it ain't that no more, baby girl. Like, wake up. And, I never talked to him again.
Welcome to Her Side of the Story. This is the podcast where sister friends tell their side of the story about relationships, lifestyle challenges, and triumph. Here are your hosts, Ray and Ash.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Her Side of the Story.
Hi guys, welcome back.
And welcome back. You guys know we are always so excited to be here with y'all. This episode is playful yet honest conversation about the fine line between hope and delusion. We explore how being delulu shows up in love, career, and self-image, why social media fuels it, and how to step into clarity without shaming yourself for once believing otherwise. From funny stories to hard lessons, this episode is about finding balance between faith, manifestation, and reality.
Yes, girl, I'm so excited to talk about this one because at times we are all delulu, and it's kind of been pushed on social media right now, like, be delulu, which I get it for manifestation purposes, but also be logical, be reasonable, be wise. So we're trying to come from that angle today.
Let's get into it.
As for you, when you hear the word delusional, do you see it as a bad thing or can it be a form of survival?
I think it depends on the situation, the context it's in. Because I think a lot of times it is what it is. Like, it's just what it is. Like, you're a little bit delusional. You may not want to really give into what the truth is. Maybe not hurt your feelings. At least in my life, it's never been to such a detriment anymore. Now that I'm older and wiser, where it's like, okay, I know that guy I've been seeing, he likes me, but it's not going anywhere. But I like going out with him. Yes, but I like going out with him. We have fun. Mm-hmm. I've told myself I'm dating for purpose and for marriage. So why am I dealing with him? I think that kind of delusion, it can become hurtful if you could prolong that. But we all do innocent things like that, right? The form of survival piece, I don't think I've ever had to use it as a form of survival.
Yeah.
But I do know people who have had to do that to soften the blow, to even just keep a roof over their head. They have to be delusional with what the person's doing and dealing with, and tolerant of lies and deceit and deception. And therefore they're living in delusion because they're tied to this person financially, right? So, maybe you'll get better tomorrow when they know it won't. So I haven't had to, but definitely know people who have had to use delusion to survive.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Ray?
I look at it from two angles because it's like, do I see delusion as a bad thing? I mean, social media right now is kind of punting it towards like, oh, you have to manifest, you have to have this and be delusional about it, you'll have it. I think it's kind of twisted a little bit with having crazy faith. Now, I do believe in having crazy faith. Yes, I know my God's going to do this for me, but also you can't expect for something that you want to craving to happen and you ain't putting in the legwork for it. Or you didn't say that you're not practicing.
Yes.
I've been preaching today, but yeah, so I don't see it as being a bad thing, but just like, maybe folks need to define it better. Like, don't be delusional about things you're not working towards. Like, if you're working towards it, I feel like a piece of delusion. Yeah, throw that in there. I'm going to be a millionaire. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. But just make sure you're working millionaire status. You're doing millionaire status things, surrounding yourself with millionaires, stuff like that.
Yes.
And yeah, I also agree with you. It can be a form of survival. Like, unfortunately, people get in bad situations and they're like, oh, well, it'll get better. It'll get better. That is a form of delusion when you know deep down inside it might not. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, I like that. As I say, God helps those who help themselves, honey.
For real.
So that was a good take on it for sure, because you're right. Like, oh, I want to be a doctor. Well, I can't just be sitting here saying it. I have to do something. I have to go to school. I have to study to become said doctor. So still leaning into this topic of the difference between delusion, form of survival, do you think there's a difference between being hopeful and being delusional? And kind of what is that like fine line?
Well, because it has to come with a story time, or maybe not.
A story time.
Or, I'll be having people listening and telling me. But yeah, I think there is a difference between being hopeful and delusional. And I have to tie it to like bad romantic relationships. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes we go back and we go back and we go back and we just know. We just know it's not going to work. This ain't right. And it's forever. The going back piece is where you're delusional at. Like, I just feel like, and I'm saying y'all, I've been delusional before. And just thinking that a person would change for me. And it's delusional to think that a person would change for me when they haven't changed for themselves. That's delusion. Now, you can be hopeful when you're working it out with somebody and they're making changes with you, y'all growing together. But if a person isn't, fixing the things from what was broken, you're staying because you're delusional, and you got to check that about yourself. And that's preaching to the choir, of course. That's the line. Like, the actions are the line. If you're seeing actions, you're seeing improvement, okay, then you can be hopeful. But if you're seeing nothing, if that man's showing you nothing, if that friend's still talking about you behind your back and you keep hearing about it, that ain't it. That ain't it.
No,
So,
I agree.
That's what I think the difference is, being hopeful that things will go your way, or when you're absolutely being delusional about things.
Yeah. There's surely, as you stated, I think that shows us there's surely a fine line. Like, there is a line. And I don't know how fine. I think it's more than fine. I think it's very bold between the two, because everything you said, the actions are the line, I think. Yeah, the actions are the line, and it's usually very loud. Yeah. I think delusion speaks louder than hope. I think when you have to keep telling yourself this will
Delusion.
Yes. Because
if it really was that, you wouldn't have to keep telling, you would see it.
Exactly. Yes. That is why I'm saying I think it speaks louder, because you're constantly, where hope, you might be like, oh, one day I hope I could get this. Right? Because I think hope turns into dreams. If you are steadfast, what you hope will turn, with your manifestation and your hard work, will turn into the dream that comes true. Absolutely. Right? Delusion does not. Delusion keeps you in a cycle that's toxic. When it comes to, when we talk about romantic relationships and even friendships or whatever it might be, or even a job, like we said, career, that's like not where you want to be. Oh, I thought, because I've been here 12 years, no one would want me anywhere else. That's being delusional.
Yeah. How do you know that?
How do you know that? You garnished 12 years of skills at this place that someone else might very much need you and pay you more for. So I definitely think the line is more than fine. It's thick. And I think that, like you said, the actions speak volumes. volumes.
Yes. So do you think social media makes us more delusional about what life, success, or love is supposed to look like?
Yes, it does. It does. Especially, I would say the success and the love.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes it look like with the love piece that sometimes you have to have this elaborate story of struggle.
Okay. I feel the opposite about social media. And
I feel like a lot of love stories I've been seeing lately is like we met when we were 12 and then we dated and we broke up and then we dated in college and we broke up again and he got married and was married and got divorced. It's like this. Why does it have to be all that?
mm-hmm.
Why can't it just be two people meeting? Why must it be some crazy thing happen to make you find this? Or is that just the world we're living in? Because it might be that's the world we're living in. That there's just so many crazy things happening, and then this amazing thing happens. And I feel like with the love piece, I think for me with social media, I love seeing the girls. I think I even posted recently like 7 people on my timeline got engaged. Like that's manifesting for me. Like da, da, da. And it's just, I think that love and the life makes you think that you need to be somewhere because of everyone else is.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else has this type of love story. That means that's what I need to get to. You know what I mean?
Or be okay with it. Because you're talking about the struggle. Like, other people struggle too, so I got to struggle with mine.
Yes. That. Yes. Okay. Oh, this person just posted that they bought this, da 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 da. Oh, especially now the way luxury is consumed on social media, like everything is very luxury, living a luxury lifestyle, quiet luxury, soft girl era, da 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 da. It's a very high level of like certain type of lifestyle that social media makes us think we want to live. And I even think people who are simple and who are like, I don't need all that, are also feeling like they need to obtain it.
To
yes, to gather, to get themselves and gather themselves with everyone else because that's what everyone else is doing. What is your take on it?
I mean, I think social media absolutely does make us more delusional or just unrealistic in our thoughts of what love, success, life looks like. I'll touch on the love piece too. Yeah, like I know I said I saw opposite. Like I see a lot of like, oh, we just met and this was rainbows and everything else, and it was good from the start. And I think a lot of people fall victim to that. Like real, and that's why like shows like Black Love, I love them because it really paints the full picture of what it takes to have a successful marriage or a successful love, because it's not easy. There are a lot of ups and downs. There are a lot of periods of good times and bad times. So, you just got to find somebody that you want to do life with. It's that simple. Do you want to do life with this person? Because it ain't going to be good every single day. So I think a lot of people are delusional there. And that's why the divorce rates are the way they are. Like they're bad, or the lack of relationships. I don't know if it's the algorithm, but it's like all the women in the 30s are single, happily single. And I'm just like, that ain't my portion. It might be my current circumstance, but it can't be my portion. So yeah, I do think social media can kind of brainwash us into things that are actually happening. Or if they are happening, we think it's going to happen to us too. For success, I really love threads. Like, I don't do any interacting on threads. I just read through threads. I was against it at first, like, oh my God, another social media. What are we going to do with this? I'm not doing anything with it. But what I love about threads, it seems to be a lot more people painting that success is not an overnight thing. Like, they really will post, like, I was 35 and didn't have XYZ. And by the time I was 37, I had A, B, C, D. And that's refreshing for me because everything, like people want things like an easy bake oven and
instant gratification.
Yes, and you can't get things that's going to last that you didn't work for. You can't get that in 10 minutes. You really can't. So we need to stop treating life like an easy bake oven. It was a fun toy when we were kids, but we need to know that being successful and finding the love of your life and maintaining friendships and having good family relationships is work. So I do think social media can make us delulu about some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, the social media boy, I love it. It's a gift and a curse, right? That's what technology technically is. And your algorithm matters. That's all I'll say. Your algorithm matters.
I was talking to my mom this week and she randomly brought it up. And mind you, she's in her 70s. Don't mean to tell her age, but I'm using it for reference. In her 70s. And she said, why do y'all use social media the way you do? Nobody cares that you went out to eat. Why do you have to show every single moment? And I was like, it just made me think like, hey, the other generations view it differently than us. And you always highlight this. You say social media is a highlight reel. It's only going to show the highs. It doesn't show the lows of people. Like very rarely do you see a low. You might see a low. Somebody say they were going to get married and then they got to go back and say, hey, we're not together anymore. But any of these other lows, you don't really see that. So it was just interesting for her to say that because I'm just like, should I be posting my food today?
I think we've talked about this, not to get too much into social media, but we've spoken about it before, how when we were in college, that's when Instagram came out, right? And when Instagram first came out, there was no such thing as a curated Instagram. I feel like what Mom is saying is what we used to do. We used to post when we would go out and just eat. And hey, we at the club, we at this place, we at Cheesecake Factory. Like, we don't do that anymore. We're only taking pics of aesthetic. That's what we're posting. Where Instagram is a highly, 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 Lord, curated version of your life and what you are inviting people to see. Now, with the elders, they use Facebook still, right? Which I do still think they post like when they're going out to eat with their friends. It's a whatever. But I think we, as younger millennials, we use Facebook as a way to keep up with people, right? Like just, and also kind of do like life updates on Facebook. More than they do. Check-ins, like more like that kind of thing, where I definitely think we don't post anymore. Like why? And I think we feel like we need to, because like we said, everyone else is posting like that. That's why you post like that. That's why you're posting the way you do, because everyone else is posting that way. And it feels like there needs to be like some type of highly curated social media account. But
switching gears a little bit.
Sure.
What's your funniest or most out-of-pocket Delulu story?
Okay, this is a good one. I was actively dating before I met Lily. Talked about it before. I was outside, okay? And there was this gentleman who I could barely call him that. It was a boy man, who I went on a date with, who we had spoken, we would text, we were getting to know each other, we met on the apps and all these things. And he shared the same birthday as me, which I should have seen was a red flag. From that moment, I should have been like, this is an absolute red flag, the fact that this man had a same birthday. So we finally agreed to meet, okay? He, up until the point before we met, he kept telling me, he lived in DC and would tell me all the time he liked to go out, he liked to party, he liked to do this, he liked to do that, and all these things. And I was like, okay, that's not really what I'm into. Like, I don't need to go to a date party every Sunday. Okay, don't need to. But anyway, went on the date with him, and he was 2 hours late to our date because he said that he had work and then traffic. I still stayed. Okay, that was delusion number one. That was that fine line between hope and delusion. Because his body was right, his face was right, he had a good job. I was hoping that this was one little hiccup that would lead to forever. Okay. So we get to the date. Man comes in. First thing, no apology for being late. None. No apology for being late.
Surprised you were still there after 2 hours.
Okay, thank you.
You were different back then, though.
Yes. And no apologies for being late. Next thing, I start ordering. Mind you, I've been waiting for this person for 2 hours. And I order. He goes, "Oh, you're going to eat that? Oh, and you drink it?" Do you remember this is someone who told me they party every weekend, but you're judging me for having a glass of rosé? And all I ordered was a salad and fries. So we're talking. He's talking all about himself. We're at like number 3. I go to order another glass of rosé. He's like, "You're ordering another glass of rosé? Wow. Do you want me to get the bottle?" That's what he says to me. He's like, "Do you want me to just bring the bottle for you?" And I'm like, "It's not that serious, but okay, sir." So I say, the waitress goes, she's like, "Do you want anything else? Do you want dessert?" I'm like, "Sure, we can get dessert." He's like, "Well, if we order dessert, I'm not paying. I'm not paying for this." And I thought he was joking. That was me being delusional because I'm like, there's no way this man is going to ask me on a date and not pay. My delusional behind, he then says to me, "Okay, well, it looks like you're going to be paying for this meal because you want to order 2 glasses of rosé, a salad, fries, and dessert when I only ordered this one thing." Okay, sir, I thought we were going out on a date. So the moral of the story is, and I ended up delusionally paying for our meal because he was arguing with me in this restaurant. And I will never forget the waitress said to me, she's like, "Sis, in front of him, you should never go out with this man again." She said, "I hope right now you block this man's number right as you're sitting at this table because this guy is a clown." The reason I share that story was because I wanted so badly to be in a relationship that I was willing to tolerate any, or so I thought, anything at that point in time. Because the moment that man disrespected me to even be clocking what I'm eating, I would have been like, "Well, we don't need to do this because I'm a girl who eats. So if you don't want to do that, good riddance." You have me waiting here. I wouldn't even have done that for, like you said, the 2-hour thing, and to not even say, "Hey, do you want to reschedule?" Or, "Hey, like, I'm so sorry," or like something. And then I waited for 2 hours. You don't even pay for my meal? Delusion. So that's a funny little delusional story of just being like, remembering my self-worth, not allowing delusion to cloud my head and make me forget my value because it was trying to. And it took literally someone else to be like, "Don't do this. I don't." And this woman did not know me. She'd never seen me. She just looked at me and said, "Don't do this. Don't let this guy's a clown. Like, I've just been watching how he's treating you as I'm coming back and forth to the table." And he left first. He didn't even walk me to my car. He left first. And yeah, she was like,
He just really had came.
no, absolutely. So that's my little delusional 1-2 story. What about you, Ray?
Girl, I'm like, is this going to even make it to the final cut? So I got to put this one behind the firewall. I'm going to tell it as delicately as I can. I think about a certain someone I was dating in my 20s, on and off. And every time I would see him, we were going steady for a while, but this person went overseas to play basketball. That kind of stopped things and came back. But every time we would, get back and start dating, like, I just would think I was in a fairy tale because that man would wine and dine me. He was one of the most romantic people I've ever dated. We would have grand weeks at a time, and then he would ghost me. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
Ghost. Like, and I'm like frantically texting, like, what is going on? What is going on? Like, what happened? And then we'll come back around like nothing happened, or vice versa, and we do it all over again. It was a cycle. Until a few years ago, the very last time I saw him, same type of thing. We went out. He took me and my homegirls out. We had a good time. And I had to sit here and tell myself, like, because after we hung out, had a good time, he was very limited in his texting again. And I was like, are you going to continue to be delusional about what this really is? He may have loved you once. He may have wanted to be with you at one point in time, but it ain't that no more, baby girl. Like, wake up. And, I never talked to him again this time. And I never reached back out, never unblocked. And I love that person. Like, that was my boo. So, you have to wake up one day and not be delusional because what you think it is ain't really what it is. Like I said, you got to look at the actions. The action showed me that this guy just likes to have a good time with me. He likes to act like I'm his girlfriend, but don't really want a girlfriend. If I'm not, super, super fun, then he doesn't want to hang out. Like, it was a thing. And, not tearing him down, it wasn't all his fault. I do think the man loved me at one point in time, but I didn't know my self-worth, and I kept going back to a ex who wasn't treating me right, and I kind of messed that up. But you think you want to live in fairy tale la la land. You think, okay, we can get it back. No, he was like, Ray, I'm just gonna have fun with her. I'm gonna talk to her for a week and then not answer her text messages.
Yeah,
she'll come back.
Yeah, I think now that we're older, we don't have much time to live in delusion. Like when you're younger, I think you can, as long as it's, of course, not harming you. But now that I'm older, I don't have much time to do that. So I got to live in the now, the reality, because we don't have time for that. So we that was our younger selves. And
that's in our 20s, but I just think how delusional I was for this person.
Oh yeah.
Just drive by. I'm in town. Where are you? Okay. My car. I'll meet you. Where you at? Your mom's house? I'm coming. And just because you meet a man's mom, that don't mean nothing either, ladies.
That part. So how do you step into clarity without feeling like you failed for believing the delusion in the first place?
Ooh, that's deep, because I be falling victim to that. Like, girl, you was really delulu and it's all your fault.
Oh,
some of it, you have to take responsibility for your actions in the delusion, right? But it's okay. You're allowed to make mistakes in life. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. It's a learning experience. It's just like I mentioned, I went back. And then one day I was just like, you're never going back. You don't need to talk to this person anymore. He's very different. He's not even the person that you remember loving. So what's really going on with you? You got to look internally. What's really going on with you that you're just taking a piece of affection versus, someone really invested their time, energy, and love into you. So I try to step in clarity from that point, like learning from my mistakes and learning from situations so that they don't repeat. And, it's all about the actions. If it's proof there and it's good, then cool. If it's not, then it's not for you anymore. And it's okay that you fell for a trap or, you fell into the delusion. Just quickly pick yourself out of it and give yourself some grace for the mistake. But remember the lesson behind it.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. That piece that you spoke about grace and forgiveness, is really the catalyst to help you move forward. Forgiving yourself, reflection of what took place, looking at signs to avoid, when this happens, it makes me fall into that delusion. Maybe I should avoid that. Maybe I should avoid this type of characteristic in a person if I'm dating them. Maybe I should, this person who I'm trying to build this new friendship with might be coming on a little bit too strong. I maybe need to communicate with them. Hey, I want to grow friendship with you. I might need to take it slow, because then you have this delusion of, every time they call you, you must answer. Because if you don't, then they think you don't like them. That's not the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I agree. Forgiving yourself, watching the steps of what caused the delusion in the first place, giving yourself grace is so important with gaining that clarity you need.
Yes, and the reflection piece, and just to tie back to the story once more, the reflection piece was that I had to tell myself, like, you can't avoid your problems. You like spending time with him because you have no problems when you're with him. He makes you forget. So that was a self-reflection piece. And deal with your problems. Stop escaping with this person and deal with it.
That part.
Okay.
Yes.
But what about you?
Like I said, the forgiving yourself is very important and is what you need to use as a guiding light to build on growing that clarity for you. Like the examples we gave, I think you summed it up beautifully, like just the grace piece. And I think too, like we speak about community so much, having people in your circle, because I'm one of them, who when they see you reverting back to that delusion are like, no, sis, absolutely not. No, 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 no. You're not doing this. You were miserable when you tried to do this. Remember what happened. Because sometimes you do need to see it through someone else's eyes. Because sometimes we have on those, what is it, rose-colored lenses that they say.
Yeah.
And that doesn't help with you seeing the delusion. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes people be like, girl, when you were with him, you would drink all the time. You were sad. He would have you so anxious. You know, we would be hanging. You didn't hang out with us. He would call you just, oh, God, I gotta go. So and so's calling. Like, it's like, sometimes you'd be like, oh, yeah, I didn't even know I was doing that. You know, I was, or like, even like my story. Okay, I was so focused on finding a relationship. I maybe was neglecting my friends. You know what I mean? Because I'm so focused on every weekend or every other night going on a date, going on a date, going on a date, going on a date, going on. And it's like, well, you may not even notice that your other relationships are suffering because of these because you're feeding yourself to these delusional wolves of nonsense men. Like, no, sis, like you let it go. So I think having sometimes people to just, you know, people who can really tell you the truth gently and be like, you know, yeah, we're sometimes getting a second opinion and definitely the act of giving yourself grace. Super important. So those would be mine.
I love that. What's one delusion you used to believe about yourself or your life that you've now outgrown?
I would say for me that if I didn't do something right then and there, it would never happen for me. Like, okay, I used to think at 25 I'd be married. That was the age. Well, we close to 35. Yeah. Yeah. I used to think, okay, if I didn't get married at 35, I would never be married. I would never get married. I used to tell myself at 30, I would start talking about how to do surrogacy and adopt. Like, girl, please. So I think that's one of my biggest ones is just because it didn't happen right then when I thought it should happen does not mean that it will never happen for me. Ever. I used to think when I was younger too, like my full life, I didn't look at life as a journey. I looked at life as like moments. I used to use age as a defining of moments. By 30, I must have all these things. By 40, I must be doing this. By 50, this is what my life will look like. I didn't look at it as a journey and realizing that like those are milestones, but they're just my age. They really don't define my life or the journey my life is on. So those would be my two, like what I didn't, just because I didn't accomplish something doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And also that life is a journey. It is not just a date timestamp. Like, at 25, gotta have a house. A checklist. Yes. I was using a lot of checklist, like milestones ways that weren't positive. Cause I do think, yes, milestones are positive, but I was using them in a negative to then say, well, oh, because I didn't have it at that age, I shouldn't even focus on getting it any longer. So yeah. Yeah. What would be yours?
You with that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely everything you said, the checklist and I had to do this by this time, my life will look that way, the moments versus the journey, all of it. I agree. This is a little deep. I used to believe, I don't know, that I was unworthy of the things that I really, really wanted. And unfortunately, a lot of my relationships were the loudest speakers of that. And I kind of thought it too and drew it in. I can't say it was original thought, but like for instance, that same story time and my most recent ex, they said something similar to me that stuck. And it was like, you know what, you're cool, you're an amazing person, but you're probably good for someone else. And I'm just like, why am I never worried? The person that I love, why am I never worthy enough for them that they're so comfortable with saying, you know what, you cool, but you're better for somebody else. And I'm just like, I don't believe that anymore. I believe like, I don't believe it negatively. And it's like, you know what, you're right. I am. I'm going to step into that in a positive way. I am better for someone else, someone that's going to treat me right, going to love me wholeheartedly, never switch up, and go through, like you said, the journey of life with me. I guess, like, I hate to say like self-worth issues, but it had to be that. And, you know, I'm very proud of myself. I've come a long way with that. Like, I won't budge on anything anymore. And it's not being rigid. It's not being like, I know how I'm supposed to be treated. I know what I bring to the table when I plan. So, you know, like this past year, it's so many people that I don't talk to. It's not just, it's or romantic relationships. So it's a lot of things because mistreatment just ain't, it's not going to work for me no more. And I'm worthy to be treated correctly because I'm going to treat you correctly. I'm going to try my very best. And if, you know, if I fall short, I'm going to make it up. And I kind of want the same thing.
Yep. As Laylee will say, you don't have to bring anything to the table because you are the table, sweetheart.
Okay, clack it.
Clack it. Okay, you don't got to bring nothing. You are the table. The person should just be learning how to set it. That part.
Thank you. That was a little vulnerable for me, but it's the truth.
Yes, it's the truth. Well, thank you for being vulnerable. And I think that vulnerability, a lot of people can connect to that. Because we've all been there. I bask in love now, but you know, I've been there.
We've been through the trenches.
Yeah, we really have. So I know what that is like. So thank you for sharing that.
Well, this next one kind of like falls into that a little bit.
Yeah.
Say is the cost of staying delusional too long.
Losing yourself, losing your self-worth, losing your understanding of who you are. This, as we've talked about, this is the story I could share, but that's for a different day. But losing who you are in every aspect, and also I think staying in delusion sometimes will have you doing things that and this part of losing yourself that you would never, ever do or tolerate. Like because your self-worth is so stripped from you allow things that are just the craziest of things. Unfathomable things. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I think it can cost you your peace. I think it can cost you your health, like actual physical health. I think it can cost you your mental health. I know for me, it's cost me all of the above many of times. I think it can also cost you that piece of, like how we start off this episode, talk about hope for the future. I think you get really stuck in that delusion that you lose hope and you lose faith in what God has planned for you, what life has planned for you. You lose a lot of, you're just like, it can't get any better. So I'm just going to stay here. Nothing's going to change. This is as good as it's going to be and whatever. So those are some things I definitely think it can really, really cost you. Is really your life, really yourself.
Yeah.
What about you?
Girl, I don't got too much to add because really you summed it up. But I really agree. Like, you'll lose yourself. And like another layer under that, you'll kind of lose your why. It's so important to know why you want certain things, why you do certain things, why I hope I'm making sense. Like, you forget your why.
No, you are.
Yeah, and that's important for me in this journey called life. Like, why do I want marriage? Why do I want this type? Why do I want a podcast? Why do I want these things? Just make sure that you're not in a delusional state and you know your why. Don't just want a why. Just don't want something because someone else has it. Why do you want it? So that's what I think it'll cost you. You'll be confused. You'll be doing stuff, losing yourself, and don't know why you're even there. Why you even putting up with that? Why you're pursuing that? And you can't be delusional too long, because like you perfectly said, you will lose yourself, and losing your why is just a piece of that.
Okay,
so That's what I think.
So tying this together, do you think there's a healthy balance between faith slash manifestation and flat out delusion?
Yes. You should absolutely put faith into things. But I said it earlier, if you're not, faith without works is dead, is the same. If you're not working towards what you're trying to manifest, what you're keeping your faith for, then it's not going to happen
At all.
It's not going to happen. So yes, there is a healthy balance. You can have some extreme goals. Like, like for instance, I'm like, next year I'm going to go to 5 different countries. That probably won't happen. A little bit of delusion there, but I'm going to hit 2 for sure. So a little, just healthy balance. Like,
yes,
you got to be realistic in your goal setting and your adventures in life. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you about you think about the balance?
I agree. There's has to be a very strong, healthy balance. Even the manifesting, because without action, manifesting is really just words on paper.
Yeah, it is.
Or words you say to yourself in the mirror. Mm-hmm. Like without the actions, like for example, we were just talking about eating out.
Girl, hungry now.
Girl, me too. And talking about like how, we need to get our bodies right for this event we have coming up.
We talking about business.
Yes, okay. But we've been eating out. And it's like, we manifest and we want to look like Naomi Campbell come the 1st.
By the 1st of November.
Yes. So how are we doing this without action? So that's the delusional. If I keep eating what we've been eating, we won't look like we want to for our event. So it's like, that's what I'm talking about. The delusion of it all is like, you have to, like you said, have that very healthy balance of it. It's like, okay, everything is done in moderation. Everything has to be done in moderation. You can't have everything in excess. And delusion can be fun, but like we said, just not detrimental to yourself. It can be, as I sit here and eat Krispy Kremes, I'm delusional. I think if I keep eating Krispy Kremes, I know on the 1st I will look amazing. But that's delusion, because I know if I keep eating, it's not going to affect anything when it will. So,
yeah. So basically, make sure if you're having these manifestations, you're putting your hands to work to make them happen for yourself. And then on the other side, contrary, stop lying to yourself. If you're not going to lose weight.
No.
Things like that. So, yeah.
So what is one area in your life now that you are choosing clarity over delusion?
I mean, I feel like my whole life is clear right now.
Oh,
I will say that.
Yes.
So, but I would say specifically one area, I'll probably never be delusional again. Romantic. Ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
I done went through the big boss, y'all. I can't be fooled but so many more times. So yeah, but I'm choosing clarity, like no more rose-colored glasses there. Like, who has time to keep getting their heart broken? Who has time to, keep putting in effort and damaging each other for, because y'all not going to be together, damaging each other for whoever they about to be with. It's just a sickening cycle. And when you've done so much work, something you just should never, ever go back to within reason.
That part.
That's what I'm doing.
That part.
What about you?
Mine would have to be not getting what I deserve. I'm done being delusional on that in any realm. Yes, in every realm. I'm done. I'm not, like you said, it's not about being frigid. It's not about that. It's just, I'm not tolerating that. I don't need to. And everything, every single thing, setting boundaries. I've recently decided this week I'm setting a boundary with my clients. If you contact me after 8 p.m., you will get a response the next day at 9 a.m., which is very rare for me.
You be around the clock working.
So just like even stuff like that, like just needing to not, because if I text them at 8 p.m., they probably wouldn't answer. You know what I mean? But it's expected, oh, because you text me, I ain't know. So we're going to set a little boundaries here. And yeah, just not letting up on what I deserve. Like I'm not going to do that anymore. I know what I deserve in friendship or romantic, in career, in myself. That's the number one, in myself, like not letting, I know what I want. So I need to work how I need to and align myself and set myself up to get what I want. So that's my body.
Before we forget,
Yes.
what is our product?
What are we loving right now? One thing I'm loving right now. Every time I eat at this place, it reminds me I really like this place. First Watch. We were just talking about it. You and I like First Watch a lot.
Yeah.
But every time I eat there, I'm like, I like this place a lot. I don't eat there enough because it's like brunch, breakfast, and they close at a certain time. But when I do, I really like today. I felt so happy, especially those juices that they have. I had that orange ginger turmeric one. Girl, it did the job. It worked. I really enjoy First Watch. I don't know if you guys have First Watch where you are, but I invite you and encourage you to go by yourself or go with a friend. In the month of October, one thing I'm trying to do, I saw it last month, was this like list of things to do in October. And one of them was like, go on a coffee date with someone. I was like, oh, that's a good one. I could go to First Watch.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, oh, go have a whole day with no social media, no phone, like nothing. Just probably the more social media, because no phone is maybe extreme, but no social media. I was like, I'm going to really implement this month. So I'm really trying to do that and work on that. Another one was like, try a new activity by yourself that you've been wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, a pottery class, a painting class, a cooking class by yourself. So I'm really going to adopt that. So that's one thing that I'm loving. But yeah, I love First Watch. I love how fresh it is. I love the options. It's like that kind of farm to table food, which I really like. That's one of my faves this month, First Watch. And I think I'm going to go and hold myself to the list and take one of my friends and say, hey, I don't know if you're busy this morning. Do you want to go? Because I feel like we don't do morning dates a lot. We all are like,
I love morning dates.
yeah.
That's my thing, because I like my day to myself.
Yeah. Like it's like we usually do nighttime. Sometimes you're like tired by the time the night comes. So I was like, I'm going to invite one of my friends to come have brunch with me or breakfast or just like a quick hour and a half breakfast. Yeah. So shout out to First Watch. What is yours?
Oh, speaking of juices, I've been gatekeeping this, but I'm going to give it out. So I really enjoy Good Belly juice, only sold at Whole Foods or Sprouts. I don't think you get it anywhere else right now. It's a pre and probiotic drink, maybe. I don't know, pre and pro. I don't know the difference, y'all. But it's really good at regulating your system. I have been drinking this juice daily, almost daily for probably 2 years. And I live by it. Like, yes. I recommend it to all my family and friends, and they always hear good things. So yeah, I was gatekeeping that because I don't want y'all to rip them off the shelves. But it's a really, really good juice. I take a cup before bed every night, and I just noticed a really a change in like my gut health.
Which is so important as we get older.
Good Belly juice is what it's called.
Good Belly juice. Love it. Is it made with beets? Are there beets in there?
No, it's more like berries.
Berries, okay.
They have a mango one. They have a pomegranate one. The pomegranate one is the best one, but that one's kind of harder to find now. So like just a regular berry one.
Okay.
Mixed berries. And then the mango one, it worked too, in my opinion. But because I take it every day, I could tell the strength of it.
Yeah.
So it's probably the weakest one. But
they say beet juice, they've been saying it's very good for you.
Beet juice weekly too. But what's that brand? Lakeland? Something?
Okay.
I buy it out the store.
Okay. Yeah. Because they say it's very good for heart health and cardiovascular health, all different things. Yeah. So the
Yes.
juices.
So the juices, beet juice, good belly juice, anything that has 100% of a good juice that's good for your body, good for your health. So
Yes. Well,
that's the balance we have with eating out.
yes. Our juices that are good for you. Yes, juicing. Well, y'all, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. And of course, this is just an episode for self-reflection of where maybe you're being a little bit delulu in your life. So, take some time, self-reflect, still manifest, but still work towards those goals as well. So we're always just so happy to be here with you guys and share with our thoughts with y'all.
Yes. Thank y'all for stopping in. We'll talk to y'all next time.
I'll see you on the next one.
If you enjoy listening to the podcast, follow us on social media at Her Side of the Story RA. And don't forget to rate the podcast and subscribe. Thank you. See you next time.